when I was at OVW, I was called up on the road a couple times to have a look at me. They want, they heard good things when the producers would come and scout us. So you go up on the road, but they give you a little glimpse, and they provide you the rental car and hotels. So you fly to wherever you're gonna fly to. You pick up your rental car. You go to the building, do the show that day. Drive to the next town. There's a hotel waiting for you. Do the show, the next day, and then you drive to the next town until the last day, whatever city you're in. You're flying out of there. You fly home. So that's like a little introduction, and they actually book your cars for a while, and they book your hotels until you're full time on the road. Then you gotta book your own cars and book your own hotels. They pay for your flights. So when the brands were split and they were separate, the Raw brand would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday's TV, and you go home Tuesday. So I get home, let's say on average Tuesday at about noon, and then you have half a Tuesday, which you're pretty tired anyway because you probably got up at 3, 4 in the morning and get to the hotel, the airport, and then you have Thursday. No, then you have all Wednesday and all Thursday. It was perfect. It was enough time to get your workout in, your laundry, see your family, regenerate, restore. You're fresh. Friday you go back on the road and you do it all again. Wow. And that was fun. But then they meshed the two brands together. So then you were doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to 2 TVs every week. And then you flew home on Wednesday. You had half a Wednesday, all day Thursday, and back again Friday. So now you only had a day and a half at home. And that 1 day difference of working 4 days and having 2.5 at home, or working 5 days and having 1.5 at home, that made a big difference. That you weren't as fresh. I think that's when some injuries started mounting. That's when you weren't seeing all your friends and family. You had to be selective because you didn't have the time to see everybody. You couldn't get your training in, your good meals. So I think going back to 2 brands is it was a good idea for the boys. My first few years I rode with Randy Orton, and it was just as smartphones were coming out, and we had phones, but they weren't real smartphones. We had to call places, ask them if they had rooms, and, as we're driving in the next town, making several phone calls, see what the rate is, and try and find a good balance of a good hotel with a good price. And then something called Hotwire came along, and that made it easy. You just punch in the stars you want, where you want to be, done. And the prices were great. We were saving money. And then things like, there was Travelocity. I used to rent cars. And that was, again, pretty easy. And then we were lucky. We had GPS. So the generation before us, they didn't have anything. They had a road atlas. They had pay phones, even before cell phones. So with those guys couldn't even contact home. Now the guys today, they can FaceTime. They can punch in anything in their phone. And where's the closest gym, the closest restaurant, anything. So although we have these luxuries, the one thing that you really can't make up for is the fact that you're away from your family. And if you have kids, and my daughter was 9 when I started, and she was 19 when I finished. And those 10 years they were scary. They happened so fast. There's so many memories, and it was such a long time, but at the same time, it was so fast. And it's a weird dichotomy of how could it feel fast when we did so much, but that's the case, So it is tough. You got to be mentally tough. There's guys that, they're awesome wrestlers and they're big, tough badasses, but they can't handle the road. They just can't handle it. They crack, and they say it's not for me. Maybe they hate flying. Maybe they hate driving. Maybe they just can't be away from their loved ones. There's a lot of reasons why people can't handle the road, but I guess I was built to handle it. The coolest moment for me was the night I debuted. Because I was given the title without paying my dues on TV, there was a little animosity, and they said, okay, we're going to get this rookie drunk. And I had to wear my title to the hotel bar in Milan, and Shawn Michaels was coming out, and apparently he hadn't come out for 7 years before this, hadn't had a drink, so it was a big thing. I remember Cena was pissed because he, for me he's coming out, like this guy he's coming out for. So I was nervous. I mean, I'm in the bar. It's Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair. This is the moment. Ric Flair gives me this welcome to the fraternity speech, like face to face, eye to eye, and I'm just saying to myself, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is Ric Flair welcoming me into the family, and it was awesome. So I knew the story. Shots of Jack until you drop, right? So I got back to the hotel and I ran to catering and I wolfed down as much white rice as I could. They called me to the bar. I broke free one more time, a little more white rice, and then they said, you gotta stay at the bar. Like, you're gonna get heat if you leave the bar. So I said, all right. I think I had enough white rice to cushion the blow, and I just stood there, planted my feet, and said to myself, endure. And that was your mission. Stand here, take it, and drink. And I grew up in Toronto, right? So we went to nightclubs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We partied. So I knew they weren't going to do anything to me that I hadn't done to myself. So I just sat there, and the story apparently became legendary because it was like shot of Jack, and I'm having the greatest time of my life. Shawn Michaels is right here, and Michael Hayes is right there, Ric Flair is right here, and I'm like, another shot. And then they're like, oh man, this is not working. He's not going down. And then I'm like, another shot. And they're like, Jesus. And all of a sudden, everybody else started going to bed. And I'm like, I'm gonna be the last guy here. I don't give a shit. I'm not leaving. And I remember CM Punk walked in. It was 6:30 in the morning, and his jaw dropped. Like, how are you? What's happening? So the rice kind of worked. It was a cushion. It didn't stop it. It just slowed it down. So somewhere around 7, that was it. Timber, and I fell into a plant, and they brought me into my room, and then all of a sudden I hear knock, 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 and the story is they opened the door and I was naked with the title on, and there was vomit on the floor, and they said the bus is waiting for you, and that is like panic mode. But they were pretty understanding. They realized that the objective was to get me drunk, so mission accomplished, and it was a rough day. But I knew, hey, in time this will pass.